Hello, everybody. Welcome to another card draw for the Blackjack Battle Royale, the final table, round 4. Once again, I am Wolf. I am joined with Taco Mage. How you doing, Taco?
Doing good tonight. Looking forward to the last two flag sets. I was actually thinking about it earlier, and it was like, after this, there's only one more week where we only get one flag set, and my brain kind of turned on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, because, I mean, at this point, with how fast, and you and I were talking last week about there's a possibility to go like 1 minute with this flag set. It actually did happen. Before we get into that, we are going to go into the rules once again really quick. Starting with round 2, each player is going to draw 3 cards, and they're going to pick one of those cards to put into play. If that card conflicts with the previous card that is in play, that previous card is removed from the table. The draw order, once again, is determined by the previous round times. The slowest person will go first, and the fastest time will go last to ensure that the person that won the round gets their pick in and can counter any of the picks priorly in play, giving them the most power possible. And with that, from the round last week, we had Falcon hit with that sub 1 hour time, 59:26, breaking the sound barrier there.
Yeah, I actually managed to catch that match. I think it was yesterday, and when he hit the KT, I think it was like at 42. I was like, oh, he could do it.
Oh yeah, it was insane. Actually, I think I have the time still written down here. Let's see. Yeah, he hit he hit the final Kefka at 52:15.
Right. I meant he was dropping into KT. At
Yeah.
Like
I didn't have the time for KT. I did have the time for Kefka. Starting Kefka was
okay.
But starting Kefka at 52:15 was still pretty good. I mean,
yeah. I mean, everybody had just loads of damage, so that was a really fast and clean final Kefka for Falcon.
Yeah, and Falcon, it only took him 7 minutes and 11 seconds to beat Kefka's tower, but the Kefka climb, by the way. 7-11.
That is tremendous.
And then, of course, Pedro Canedares is joining him in this grand final at 106.28. And unfortunately, Boo and Infinite Fluff, they have been eliminated from this round. 113.02 as an eliminated time. That's insane.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on the fact that everything was sub 75 minute, and that's just crazy. But this seed was stacked for it. I mean, there were so many experience eggs. There were 2 Illuminas just in chests. If you happen to go that way, it was just loaded. I mean, we saw that Set Spot wanted this seed to go fast, and he really delivered on this seed.
Yeah, he definitely did. And again, I guess, and with only 2 picks left, this flag set that we're presented with is still going to be just as fast. 2 picks is not going to change much, because right now we're starting with Edgar with the Dragoon set, with Sabin as his Vanilla Monk, which River Mastery allows them to get the Bum Rush immediately in the game if they want to, because pick number 4 is Open World, so they can go anywhere they want in the world. They don't need Terra to do the Aletta River to get the Monk Mastery. Transcendent characters, the stats have been buffed to 160 to 200% of the normal stats. Vanilla shops, which means we know where all the items are in the shop, so we know where the white capes are, and some of the earrings and like that, because we also have Silence there, the 11th pick, which is everybody's muted. No toys and no free lunch, which means that Espers are going to be where Espers and characters are behind bosses. And anything that doesn't really have a boss as immediate check is not going to give a good reward. It's going to give you a item. And no toys, there's no rods and balls in the shops and like that. And of course, we still have the finality that can still be removed. That's permadeath. We do have Life 3 available, and Phoenix does cast Life 3, but your turtle pawns, the buckets, the inns, none of that's going to bring your characters back. No Phoenix Downs or anything. Round 2 for you.
Yeah, so we've got Potent Espers, so all the Espers that you find are going to have better spells on them. And there's going to have, well, not better spells, but they're going to be more spells on them. And I believe that also enables multi-summon for Espers.
Yep.
NPC Zapper, which is just quality of life, allows you to, I believe it's actually Vanish X Zone, as we saw last week. So that's just, if somebody gets in your way, you can move them forcibly. Dragon's Horizon, which forces 4 dragons on the KT unlock check. Random chests, which is just that. All the chests are 100% random, so you can pick up anything from a tonic all the way up to an Illumina in a chest. Tough scaling, which puts scaling at 2.5 for health health MP, as well as the level scaling of all of the enemies in the game, as well as it increases scaling up to level 50. Friend skip, which is if you get 3 more characters than the base KT unlock, which in this case is 6. So if you get 9 characters, that lets you get KT skip. Fighter's Hunt, after you get 2 dragons, you get, I believe it's plus 20 strength or vigor, making your fighters all that much more potent. And the Dragoon, which also at 2 dragons, you get a full Dragoon set, which is boots, horn, and I believe 1 of the high tier lance, which is R Lance, Pearl Lance, or oh goodness, I can never remember the third one.
Well, it's actually Dragon's Remnant that gives that. Dragoon is actually Edgar with the jump instead of tools. But the dragon theme did continue into round 3 because we have Dragon's Egg and the Dragon's Remnant. You mentioned that gives the Dragoon set. Well, Dragon Egg also gives you an experience egg for doing the 2 dragons. Then we have Stronger Commands, which means Steel Sketch, Control. Some of the lesser skill abilities, those have been removed, so you have a higher chance of getting Magitech Armor, Throw, Blitz. Those kind of abilities there's a higher chance of getting those. And if we do get a Magitech Armor factory upgrade, if we do Magitech Facility, you will be able to unlock all the Magitech abilities for those characters.
Yep, this is still stacked to the nines. I can only imagine that there are only a couple of things that we could pull up in the final round that would make this even faster. But at this point, I don't think they need it in order to go fast. We've already seen that.
Yeah, definitely. But here is the round 4 draw. Once again, there's only 2 picks that are going to be happening, and the first person up will be Paolo Canaveras with the losing, quote unquote, 1 hour, 6 minute time frame. And let's see what they have to play with. We have the Lancer, Stronger Enemies, and Fighter's Hunt. So the Lancer is actually Mog with jump, similarly to Edgar with jump. We do have Stronger Enemies, which that would change the add 10 plus levels at the start of the seed for the enemies. So enemies actually start at level so it's 2 scaling right now. Tough scaling 2.5. So we're starting with 3 characters, so that's 6 is 9 is 10. So enemies will start at level 19. And then Fighter's Hunt is on top of which we already have. It's from round 2.
Right. To be honest, I don't think any of these are particularly meaningful. I guess Stronger Enemies might mean an extra grind fight or 2 at the beginning of the seed, but as we saw from, I believe it was the first Coliseum, as enemies scaled up as they got deeper in, top runners weren't really bothered all that much by having Stronger Enemies at the beginning.
Yeah, and Perro just said, I don't like any of these.
Yeah.
And he did ask if the Fighter Hunt stacks. It does not stack. It'll just replace the one that's already in play. So basically, he would be passing his turn. Similarly to what happened earlier in the matches with Double Down with the random chest draw in round 2. It just replaces that card, so you basically pass your turn.
Yeah, Setzer's being a little savage with these picks, I think.
Well, he does make his pick in. Finally, it is going to be the Lancer. So now we're going to be starting with Edgar and Mog, both with jump, and we have Sabin with blitz.
With the physical kind of lean to this this flag set, I can see that being useful. I mean, if you pick up a second R Lance or something like that along the way, find something with find a couple of horns along the way, you could be doing some decent damage there.
Well, we can't get the horn because we have to do dragons. We're going to do 4 dragons. So we are going to get at least 1 horn, thanks to the Dragon's Remnant after doing 2 dragons. So we'll see if we can find the second horn somewhere in play. With random chests, that's a really high possibility. Well, of course... go ahead.
I was going to say, I can't remember what it was. It's like, 1 in 8 chests can be a high-tier item on average with random chests?
Yeah, one of those studies in our in our Discord. Make sure you join our
Yeah.
Discord, ff6worldscollide.com/discord, and it has all the information you want to know and all the stats that you want to know too. But Falcon hits up next in random bosses, the hybrid, and reduce rewards. So random bosses would randomize all the bosses plus, which they already are, and there would be repeats. So we could get multiple scenes of Magi Master, of Goddess, of Spicy Chicken. The hybrid is actually Vanilla Terra, and reduced rewards is we were only going to get experience multiplied times 2, and magic gold multiplier is times 4. I don't know if that replaces the. I think that would replace the tough scaling, which I think that scaling was actually ultra sleek scaling. I think it's 2-4. So yeah.
Is this the actual multipliers or is this the scaling? Because if this is just the multipliers, it might not touch the scaling.
It says category scaling.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming that does replace the scaling. I'm not 100% sure on that. But experience rewards multiplied times 2, gold and magic are times 4.
It sounds like it might just be the multiplier, but it might also force default scaling to go along with that.
Tough scaling is enemy bosses gain 2.5 levels per recruit. So maybe it does replace it. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I guess reduced rewards is the only one that's would make a big difference here, in that it would slow things down. Random bosses is always a spicy check. I actually don't know how Falcon Hit feels about random bosses. You either really like that one, or you're just waiting for that one seed where you get three spicy chickens in a row at Floating Continent.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. But one thing I do want to mention, and that Falcon had just pointed out, no calmness. Calmness was never picked throughout, or was never drawn throughout this entire competition.
Yeah,
At least in the final table.
As I said earlier, I don't know if this is true, but it seemed like it was kind of rare during the entire tournament. I don't know if that was by design or if we just, rando's gonna rando even when you're doing randoing the rando.
Well, his pick is in. He's actually going to pick the hybrid. So
Okay.
So Vanilla Terra is substituting in for Vanilla Sabin, which means also takes out technically River Mastery as well, because that's actually gives you the A blitzes. So Lette River actually no longer really needed for the blitzes now, unless you pick the character up.
Yeah, I mean you've still got stronger command, so picking up a blitzer is still relatively likely. So I wouldn't take River Mastery fully off the table, but it's a lot less likely of a play.
Yep, and once again we do have open worlds, so it doesn't matter what characters we start with, other than the fact that we know we have 2 characters with jump, and we have Terra with her morph ability. That we know, that part we do know. So yeah. So overall, this seed didn't slow down any. We did lose our, I guess you say, our MVP character in Sabin for the tournament. Does get replaced with Terra, who's a really good character anyways. But yeah, I don't see this slowing down any.
Yeah, I mean, you're starting with 2 jumpers and 2 characters who definitely have a decent item pool for equipment. So, yeah, I'm like, it's really just a couple of solid chests away from being another just really, really quick seed.
Now, does losing Bum Rush, is that going to slow these guys down, you think? Or
I don't.
Or just Terra being able to have high magic ability, morph, it doesn't really matter.
I don't think it matters. Did Falcon Hit even do the Bum Rush? I can't remember if he picked up Bum Rush or not.
Well, he had experience eggs and stuff. I don't think he ever really did it. I mean, he just found just decent gear, kind of did his own thing, and just, took down the easy, quick checks and just progressed through and got under out an hour.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with high enough level scaling and some good items, like you don't need Bum Rush to do the quad 9. So I don't think this is going to slow them down at all.
I don't think so either. So if you want to tune in for the grand final, that will be on Thursday night, once again, 9 p.m. on the FF6 Worlds Collide channel. Falcon Hit versus Pedro Canales, Mr. Tournament of the Month versus a newcomer to a tournament series. who did share with us a story. He was actually stuck in the hospital dealing with a lot of health issues, managed to play some games in the background, and has made it all the way through his first tournament to the grand finals. So big, really cool story for Pedro Canadras there.
Yeah, I really liked hearing that in the interview following the last match. It was really cool to see that, he kind of made a really positive thing happen out of what was probably not so great a time in his life. And it was really nice to see that he was like, yeah, that's where I really got into racing. And now here he is, final table at the Blackjack Battle Royale. So that's really cool.
That is an awesome story. Once again, I am Cyberwolf. Thank you, Takamish, for walking with me throughout this incredible tournament. I think the most exciting tournament we've had thus far in the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community because of the card draw. Like, everybody would surround the card draw. See, I cannot wait for Sunday,
Yeah, I think it's a really cool addition to the Discord and to the Rando as a whole. I know that we've been having kind of an unofficial draft for the longest time, but seeing it actually become a part of the community, something that we can just do in the Discord, has been just tremendous. I've seen so many pop-up matches that are draft matches recently.
Most definitely. And then once again, here's our flag set. This is what we're expecting for Thursday, once again, 9 p.m. Eastern on the FF6 Worlds Collide channel. I am Saberwolf. Once again, I'm joined by Taco Mage, and we'll see you then Thursday night. Till then, take care and have a good day.
Bye, everyone.